So today we're going to be looking at congruence. So if we think back to year 9, back in year 9 we were looking at similarity. So these are shapes that are the exact same shape, but they can be different sizes. Now we're going to be exploring congruence. These are shapes that are the exact same shape and the exact same size. Now the symbol for congruence is 3 lines. So this is really important to remember. When we're stating that two things are congruent to each other, this is the symbol that we need to use. So we could say that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle EFG. For example, that was if we had two triangles ABC and EFG that were congruent, that is the exact same size and the exact same shape to each other. So incongruent figures, matching sides are equal and matching angles are equal. Congruent triangles. So congruent triangles have the exact same shape and size. All pairs of matching sides and matching angles in congruent triangles are equal. So if we have a look at an example, so here we have an example of triangles ABC and EFD. Now these are congruent triangles. Now it's really important that you look at the order that the letters come in. So if we look here, we're saying that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle EFD. Now when we've done that, we've got to look at A to B, there's that 8 centimetres in between it. So if we're starting at E, we have to have that 8 centimetres, so we have to go to F after that. Then if we look at our next one, from F, if we're going up to D, then we need B to go to C. Because you've got to cross the same distance or the same side of the triangle for each of those. So we can say AB equals EF, BC equals FD, and finally we have our last side where we have the 6 centimetres and the 6 centimetres, which is our CA and our DE. Now if we look at the triangles here again, but this time focusing on the angles, we can say that angle ABC, so that is this angle here, is congruent to angle EFD, which is this angle here. We can also say that angle BCA is congruent to FDE. And finally, we have our last one, CAB is equal to DEF. To determine if two triangles are congruent, there are 4 sets of conditions that we can use to determine if they are in fact congruent triangles. The first of these is side, side, side. So that is, if 3 sides of one triangle are equal to 3 sides of another triangle, then the 2 triangles are congruent. So in our picture here, we have a 1 here and a 1 here. We have 2 dashes here, 2 dashes here. We have 3 dashes here and 3 dashes here. So each of these triangles contains a matching side to the other triangle. Another test we have is side, angle, side. If 2 triangles and the included angle of one triangle are equal to 2 sides and the included angle of another triangle, then the 2 triangles are congruent. So here we have 2 dashes, 2 dashes, 1 dash, 1 dash, and the angle. So when we're talking about the included angle, it needs to be between the 2 sides that are matching. Our third test is angle, angle, side. If 2 angles and one side of a triangle are equal to 2 angles and the matching side of another triangle, then the triangles are congruent. So it is important though that this side here, so this angle here is opposite that side. So we can see that our angle here is opposite the same side. So that in fact is a congruent triangle. Our fourth and final test is our right angle hypotenuse side. So what this tells us, if the hypotenuse and a second side of a right-angled triangle are equal to the hypotenuse and a second side of another right-angled triangle, then the triangles are congruent. So here we have our hypotenuse, a side, and we have that right angle. So we know that we're talking about right-angled triangles. So these two triangles are in fact congruent triangles. So here we have some examples. Now what we need to do in each of these examples is determine the congruency test that we can use to show that these are congruent triangles. So in our first one, we've been given 3 sides. So what we want to do is we want to make sure all 3 sides match. So we have a 7 centimeters here and a 7 centimeters here, a 9 centimeter and a 9 centimeter, and a 10 centimeter and a 10 centimeter. So these have 3 pairs of matching sides. So our congruence test would be S, S, S for side, side, side. In B, we have 2 angles and a side. So we look at this angle here, which is opposite our side, and this one here, which is opposite the side. The angles are in the same spot in relation to the side, so we can say that this is an angle, angle, side. So in part C, we can see we've got 2 sides and an angle. So we have a 7 centimeters and a 7 centimeters. We have a 9 centimeter and a 9 centimeter. And this angle here is included. So that inclusion means it is between the 2 known sides, so our 2 matching sides. So in this case, our test would be side, angle, side. And finally, in part D, we have 2 sides and an angle. So we know that it's a right angle because of that little square, which means we have a hypotenuse, which is 12 centimeters, so the length of those sides match, and we have another side which is 7 centimeters, and again, those sides match. So we can say that this one is a RHS. So it's a right angle, hypotenuse, and side.